Mic check, mic check. Right, mic's working. Alrighty. There we go. All right. Hello. So unprepared today. It's ridiculous. Hope everyone's having a good Monday. Hi, Des. Cat on desk. Okay. Enjoy the cat on your desk. Is your cat giving you a hard time? Crawling all over your keyboard? You need to get one of those keyboard guards for your cat so they can sit on top of your hands and on top of your keyboard without actually being on top of you. So obviously I'm going to be working on my self-portrait today. It is close to finished, but not quite there yet. So we'll see if I can finish it today. That says every night when the dogs go to bed, Uh, he thinks it's his time, so he comes and lies across the mouse pad, your keys, and purrs in your face. How awful. How awful for you. What about sitting in your lap? Will he not do that? No, he won't sit with me or on me. Okay, that sucks. That's annoying. Excuse me for a second. Okay, I'm back. And Dresden's being all weird with me lately because he's very dumb and he got freaked out by like the chair moving in my room, so now he won't sit on me in the chair because I once lowered the chair while he was in it and it freaked him out. He'll forget about it at some point because he's dumb and he has a bad memory. So eventually he'll forget all about it. But for now, all right. So today, like I said, obviously I'm going to try and finish this. Um, let's see. I need to fix a bit of the nose. Obviously, some of it is vanished on me. Um, I need to finish up the details in like the eyes, a little bit in the mouth and the beard or the mustache area. This is looking pretty good, I think. Um, Need to do something with all of this though, which is what I'm going to start with. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to put out some more yellow as well. Oops. I know shopping online can be super convenient, but when it comes to art stuff, I really miss going into the store. Hey, Lost Pixel, how you doing? Hey, yo, twin. Hey, how's it going? We actually have an art store, a local art store here. We have a chapter of Jerry's Artorama here in Austin, but for one, my gift card doesn't work in store, and two, they often they often are missing a lot of the stuff they have online. Uh, but yeah. That says, yeah, you don't know if you're getting weird stuff online. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. They are getting tired, so don't know how long you'll be up, but figured you would hop in and say hi. Oh, thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. And when you do go, have a good night. I hope you have a good one. Yeah, the problem too with online is that it's like if I could, depending on the circumstance, I would just drive out and pick up like one or two things, because it's like, okay, I need this and this, but yeah, that's all I need at the moment. But when I'm buying stuff online, it is, you have to make that free shipping, so you buy more. So then I put off buying more for longer, and so on. Rob's dead now says, "Hey Leon, how you doing tonight?" I'm doing good, Rob. Good to see you. How are you doing today? How's the streaming been going? Lost Pixels says, hopefully I can hang out a bit before my eyes get too heavy. I have to keep on. I may just fall asleep in chat. I've done that before. No worries. Because I'm simul streaming, um I don't usually rate anybody, so it'll just like turn off on its own. Rob Stead says, good, working on the painting right now. Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm trying to take this one to a finish finally. It'd be nice to be done with it. So we'll see if I can pull it off. Um, it's close, it's close to done, but I have a way of making my life harder, so we'll see. We shall see. Rob's dead now, says haven't streamed in a bit. We'll try to do it in a few days this week. Oh, nice. Yeah, it can be tough. Absolutely. Oh, before I get into the painting, though, I would like to. I told Des I would show her this on stream, so I want to share this a bit. So there are these tools. Hold on, let's see. Lost Pixel says, rules I live by, not intentionally. If you can make things harder on yourself, I probably will, lol. Like a messed up version of Murphy's Law. That's fair. So I was going to show Des these things. They're what are they called? Catalyst by Princeton. So you can, they're just wow, that is blown out. Okay, good to know. I need to adjust that a little bit. That is really blown out. Let's see. That might be better. Still pretty blown out, but maybe a little better. Anyways, they're just like flexible rubber or silicone or something. I don't know what the hell they're made out of. They're very similar to like the wiper tool and like to these, but this one comes to a very sharp edge and is very soft. And you can see it's not a straight line, it's got a gradual curve to it. However, the curve is the same the whole way down. Whereas like this one, for instance, it kind of bows, right? So it's like there's a peak in the middle of the round part. And this is the 15 size. So I think it's the small one. And the tip isn't entirely sharp. It's got more of a flat edge. Looks like a sculptor's soft chisel. Yeah, I think they're originally for sculpting, and then they just started using them for other things. This one's the W06. It's just a big flat one. It's got some flex to it, more on one side. Hey Javi. Wait, Javi, that's hey man, how's it going? Great portrait. Love the focused look. As if you're trying to set the blinking clock on the VHS. Yep, pretty much. I don't know how to work those things. Microwave either. I can't. But yeah, so that's what I just wanted to show it. But the other thing I wanted to mention is that there's other ones like this one. They have a little texture to them, so there's like a very like very small texture to them. And then the other thing is that these are the soft ones, but you can also buy forgot I left it here. 1 second. You can also buy ones like this. This one's just hard plastic. Personally, I don't like the hard plastic ones as much, but some people love the hard plastic ones. This one definitely comes to a much sharper edge. But when I bought this, I thought it was soft, and it is not soft. So, and it has literally no flex to it, like less than a what's it called, palette knife. So, just wanted to show those because Des was asking about it in the Discord. Also, I didn't know this, but they now make ones like this that are firmer, which I like. I want to buy some of those. Let's see. You using them kind of like putty knives for something else? No, no, I use them for painting. Just I bought them for painting. I use them for painting. I use these ones a lot because they're, I don't know, convenient. I I do like the other ones as well. I actually like this one a lot. It's a little large. It's the 50, but it's very useful. So, but yeah, you can, I was going to be doing something like this. So I will use this to show off a little. You can just, put the paint down. It very much acts like a palette knife in some ways, but not 100%. The one thing though is when you mix with them, it like tends to accumulate on the edges, which is annoying. So you have to kind of pay attention to that. Palette knife, that's what you meant? Yeah, absolutely. Javi, do you want me to call you by your username or do you want me to use uh your name? Do you have a preference? Lost Pixel, it's all good. But yeah, these are they're very useful for certain things. Before long, you'll be sounding like a caveman with grunts and sounds instead of recognizable words. Ah, so like me in the mornings. Got it. Oh no, Des. No, 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 no. Don't be care. Don't let the kitty experience that. No, no, no. It's not good for them. Lost pixel. You don't. You know. You also don't feel obligated if you're just want to. What's it called? If you want to lurk, you're also welcome to do that. Don't feel obligated if it's too much. But yeah, these tools are great. I wish I could use them um, instead of brushes entirely. I would love that. But there's a nuance to brushes that you just cannot get with anything else. You're here to hang out, otherwise you would just put on some music and go to bed. That's fair. That's fair. Well, I do appreciate you hanging out. What kind of music would you go to sleep to? I'm curious. If you were to go to, put on music to go to sleep, what kind of music would you put on to go to sleep? Because I can put on sometimes I'll put on soft music to go to sleep, sometimes I'll put on heavy metal to go to sleep. So it's kind of a mix. Uh, Depends on the mood. Sometimes you do metal, sometimes Celtic flute and harps and stuff. Interesting. Number of things between, honestly, but those are the ones you do most often. Oh, that's cool. Wouldn't have thought of that, but yeah, that's a cool combo for sure. It's funny because I'll put metal on to both pump myself up and to go to sleep. I feel like that's a weird contradiction. You had an art piece you did inspired by Celtic magic in a lot of ways. That's awesome. Well, very cool. I like Celtic stuff. I'm not like big on the lore or anything. I don't know a lot of it, but I do appreciate a lot of it. I think it's really cool. I also like their design elements a lot. You think you shared it on Don Lee's Discord? Oh, cool. Well, you can tag me in it if you want, so I can see it if you feel like it at some point. Dude on a green background with a glowing hand. Very cool. Have have you do you like fantasy books, by the way? Urban fantasy stuff? Because if you do, I was going to recommend the Iron Druid. It's a series about a Celtic druid that uses magic and stuff. Uh, it's a good series. It falls apart around I think book four ish, I'd say. But up until then, it's pretty solid. Most do you make it past book three, and you're doing pretty good. Oh yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Dresden Files kept stayed actually got better over time. I think the only time it kind of started falling off is, in my opinion, the last two books. Kind of not my favorite, but I'm hoping he comes back from them still. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the last, especially the last book, but the last two books were just, I don't know. They uh, they had issues. Not one you've read, but you love druids. Cool. Check it out. Hope you like it. If you like old druids and you like all kinds of like mythologies, it weaves a lot of mythologies into each other. But like I said, it starts to fall apart at some point. I can't remember what book exactly, but yeah, it does definitely start to kind of crumble. Awesome. Yeah, give it a shot. Let me know if you like it. You can a lot of these books you can get for free if you have a library or a library app. I used to listen to books for free on the library app. Lost Pixel. Okay, let's see. My new art piece you're getting ready to work on is Star Wars piece. It is a wall. You are aware. Good, because that is a lot. Star Wars piece. It's going to be a large bug creature. They have those in Star Wars? I'm trying to remember. Lights, lightsabers, lights in the scene. A lot of lighting effect. I see. That's cool. How are you preparing for it? Are you are you doing anything to prepare for it? Hey Des. Nice emotes. Des has a bunch of Star Wars emotes. You got some reference photos and some lighting mood photos. That's cool. That's good. I was curious if you were gonna go full on like oh, what's his name? Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name again. The guy who makes like little models before he starts painting. Like make little models and maquettes and stuff. James Gurney, that's it. Oh, 3D, I see. Okay, cool. So the whole piece is going to be a 3D model? Oh, cool. Well, it definitely will help with the complex lighting and everything. You want to do something more with your wheelhouse? You've been doing a bunch of stuff lately, testing out stuff you don't know how to do. Yeah, that's always fun. It can make you feel like you don't like you lost your ability when you start like branching out a lot and everything you're doing is suddenly hard and you feel like you just can't do anything that you normally can kind of thing. I know that feeling. You enjoy it? That's good. I do. I mean, I think it can be fun, but I can also see it being frustrating after a while. You also just want to do something you can just do without looking up stuff constantly, flipping back and forth. Yeah, it's good to mix things up. Combination of like challenging and comfortable and fun. You know, like sometimes you just want to draw the same drawing you've done like 100 times before because it's comfortable and fun and so on. You get it. This whole stuff needs some work, but let's see what I can do with it. You want to do some of your old stuff since your skills have grown quite a bit since last year or two? Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if you've seen that, but people do that online. They do that like, 2 years later, sometimes it's 12 years later, artists do the same thing. But the thing that I always found kind of weird about those is that one of the things that I do differently now is um, is all my choices are so much different now than they would have been. So I feel kind of weird being like, oh, here, let me redo the same thing when I probably never would have done that, you know, that what's it called? Like that pose, or I wouldn't have done that composition, or, all of the above. Like it's kind of, I don't know how you do that exactly. Because so much of that informs how the piece ends up coming out. So it's exactly the reason you want to do a new version is to see how your choices and styles have changed. Yeah, I guess I'm referring more to like the when the artists do it, they do kind of the same. Like they try and basically make it the same, but just the rendering is kind of different. And you can definitely see the improvement, but it's definitely like missing a factor, I think. You haven't seen people doing that online? Oh, okay, interesting. You often don't look at people's profiles. It just comes up for me, like on Instagram or something. But yeah, You just watch and look at stuff that teaches mostly. Yeah, it's just more like, random uh people I follow on Instagram or Twitter type of thing. I follow a lot of artists and stuff that I'm not that good at being online, but occasionally I see stuff. You're terrible at being online. You do Discord okay, but anything else aside from that, not so much. You see, I love Discord, but I find a hard time dealing with Discord. That says I spam with I spam him with stuff. What, me? No. I have a hard time keeping up with like forums that are very active. Anything like that, and I just can't keep up with it. It's too busy, and I start like losing track of everything. And some discords that have thousands of active members, and you just can't do it and give up. I'm the same way, Des. I'm the same way. I do the same thing. I'm actually a moderator in a Discord, and I'm like barely active in one of those in that Discord because it's grown so big so fast, and I'm just like I cannot keep up with this. Lost Pixel says, "Yeah, I just hop in and glance, and then you're out." Yeah. You before your message in Discord and post something, and then you're out. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. The thing that can be annoying with these is sometimes you'll get paint and it'll be like on the edge, but it'll be too far. up or too far down on the edge, and you can't, like, you go to paint with it and it doesn't put anything down. That drives me nuts sometimes. Like, you think it's going to put down paint and it doesn't. What you're doing to this piece, you've been looking, but you can't figure it out. That's fair. Um, so I had this idea of trying to kind of uh, have reality kind of break apart towards the edges of my painting in some way. And I'm trying to figure out a way of visually representing that. Right now, it looks like I'm going Super Saiyan. That's funny. I can see that. Not quite, but I can see that. That says, I signed up for a free 5-day art workshop, and today was the first class. Nice. It was about design. Teacher was encouraging everyone to just make marks and the basics of shapes and size, etc., to make interesting piece. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a big part of things. So I've done this, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to paint back in and like finish the face and start kind of merging them together in some way. You've been looking at pieces posted on the Facebook group, and it seems like everyone just read a Kandinsky book. I have no idea who that is. I probably do. I just can't remember who they are. But yeah, that's the basics of it. And if at the end of it I'm like, I don't like any of this, I will just wipe it all off and paint back in the rest of it. And if it dries and I can't wipe it, I will take a palette knife and I will scrape off all the peaks and mostly just the peaks, to get it smooth. Not sanding, no sanding, just scrape off the peaks and then paint over it. So yeah, that's what's happening right now. Funny because I'm going from like that, and now I'm just going to be going in and doing all the like little details and everything. Oh shoot. Before I do that though, I need to put out some more paint. Let's see what this links to. Okay, interesting. I don't know. I'd have to evaluate it a little more. Something I thought was really interesting. I watched a series about painting and paint history, and it was talking about like modern art and so on. And it is really interesting because some of the stuff that I like really thought was stupid, I watched this video on it, and while I don't like it, I do appreciate it a lot more because when it's put into context of like the time and everything, you look at it very different. So, all just kind of depends. You can't stand Warhol's pretentiousness. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know that much about Warhol. Um, he seems like an interesting person. There's literally like very conflicting things about him, and I'm not sure about that. So I'd want to do a deep dive before I kind of make up my mind on that. So yeah, Rob's Dead Now says that you saw a Warhol exhibit a few years ago and thought it stunk. Yeah, yeah. No, Warhol. Like I said, Warhol is an interesting guy because like my understanding about Warhol is what was it? Like there's all these conflicting things. Like he was very much involved in pop culture and pretty famous from what I understand. But then if I'm not mistaken, he lived at home with his mom. And he was at the end he was also going bald. I don't remember why, either from cancer or nothing related to that. But yeah, just a lot of like weird conflicting things. I'm not a fan of like a lot of what he did in the sense of like the artwork, I think, isn't all that interesting. And it's also reproductions, a lot of it. And also, basically, he had people do it for him. So, but, you know, I'd like to learn more before I really get into it. It was all around destroying and going against expectations just for the sake of it. I mean, depending on what it is, that could be okay. It just depends. Um, I'll tell you the one artist that so obviously there's some artists that we know of who are, we'll just put it mildly and say really bad guys, who've done really horrible things. And of course you know, I think that's awful. Um, but most of those people are dead. Probably not most, but a lot of them are dead. But one artist who is very, 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 very popular today and still alive is Damien Hirst. I fucking hate that guy. And maybe that's a little too much, but I'm really not a fan of his. Never heard of Damien Hirst? You have. You may not know it, but you have. He did not really a sculpture, but he did a sculpture of Rob Draw says some bad guys are geniuses, though. Yeah, but the two are unrelated. A lot of they're not. They don't have to go together. Just happens to be that some people got away with a lot of shit. Damien Hirst did the sculpture of the. It's not really a sculpture, but the shark in the what's it called? Like the bisected shark that's in I don't know if it's in acrylic or resin or whatever it is. Yeah. There's this weird artist on YouTube that you don't want to know anything about him. And yet, Des, you're in my Discord and in my stream all the time. But no, I was kidding, obviously. But going back to what you were saying about starting the class, that's great, Des. I'm really happy for you. Rob Draw says, yeah, one doesn't have anything to do with each other, but it's weird. It just to just dismiss a person's art because they were a bad, troubled person. Uh, I agree. I'm not dismissing their art because of that. I'm just saying, like, I don't endorse that. But here's the difference. Damien Hirst, his art is the thing I'm opposed to, not anything else. I don't like him for what he has done with his art because the the shark sculpture is just a real shark that they caught, killed, and bisected for an art piece. And then when he sold it and it it rotted inside of the sculpture, he had to replace it. So he had to go out and get another shark to kill just for an art piece. And yeah, not a fan. The only thing that could possibly change my mind on that would be if I found out that, like, he sold it for millions of dollars and all that money went to conservation or something like that. Maybe I'd change my mind. Lost Pixel says, yummy, rotten resin shark. Yeah, no, not very good. You're looking at his work and the dude likes to kill animals. Yeah, exactly my point. I don't like him. I'm not a fan of people killing animals for no reason. I'm not even a fan of people killing animals to eat, let alone for, like, no good reason. Last Pixel says, yeah, I've never heard of him. You looked him up now. Yeah, it makes oh, that says, yeah, make a fake shark. Hell yeah. No, no, they had to use a real shark because it's bullshit. Fuck that guy. Like, I don't even dislike what's his name, the guy who, like, has the whole Vanta Black thing. Like, I don't even dislike that guy as much as Damien Hirst. But yeah, there's a lot of shitty people out there. Whatever. But yeah, that is the difference. Like, there are some artists out there who are really real scumbags, but it doesn't really have much to do with their art. Like, you could argue maybe some of it, like, is presented in their art in some way, but overall, not really. But not Damien Hirst. His artwork is that, So that's why I oppose the guy, and I think he's whatever. But yeah, the other guy is the guy who like bought the rights to use Vanta Black, and no one else can use Vanta Black. A lot of people hate on him. Um, he makes for a good villain, but I don't really hate him as far as I know. Lost Pixel says, at least you've heard of Vanta Black. Don't know anything about it, but its commercial had that sort of pretentious Warhol. Oh yeah, no, that guy, um, he is very pretentious. Vanta Black is like one of the blackest paints in the world, and it's not like it's super toxic and difficult to work with because it's like super toxic when working with it and everything. But he bought the rights to it, so only he can use it. And he's used it to paint different things, and it gives the effect of like, you'll have something that's 3D. Let's say if you took a ball that's 3D and you painted half of it black, like that 3D sphere will suddenly look 2D, and it messes with your perception of things, which is interesting and cool. But aside from that, he likes to do like I think he's the one who does the dog balloons that are made out of metal. So they're like the party balloons that people make dogs. He made those, but out of metal, and he did the bean in Chicago. Whatever. Says that sounds like a statement though that someone can buy anything and mess with other people. Commentary. Yeah, he didn't do it for that. He just wanted to be the only one who had access to it. It basically he bought the patent to the paint because it's not a normal paint, right? So yeah, and he's become like kind of a villain to some people because he did that, and there's a guy who makes like I think he has now Black 3.0 that they're up to. You've probably seen that. He it's like Anish Kapoor or something like that. Basically, like you have to when you buy Black 4.0, you have to declare that you are not Anish Kapoor or whatever his name is, and that you will not sell whatever you buy from them to him, and so on. It's become this kind of thing. I don't know. Well, the only reason you know about Vanta Black is another person who made another black that they are selling. Yeah, that's the other guy. Actually, there's a few people who are making kind of, but it's probably that guy um, who makes Black 4.0. Because the not selling to the other guy, you remember? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, he makes all these weird paints. He has like the whitest white and the most the pinkest pink and so on. None of them are oil paints though, so and I don't think they're very light fast either. So none of them are really all that like useful for me, but whatever. Only reason you remember it at all because of how goofy it all is. Yeah, it's just a marketing thing essentially. I think. I've said this before, but sometimes when painting, It's just easier to like push something a little further than it should be and then to like pull it back versus trying to like take it to where exactly to where it needs to be the first time around. Lost Pixel says, well, I'm going to zonk. Your eyes are starting to water. Y'all have a good night. Yeah, absolutely. Have a good night. Makes sense about the thing I said? Yeah, I think so. Have a good night, man. So Des, you said it's a 5 week course that you're taking. Is that right? 5 days. Oh, so it's 5 days in a row? Yes. Ooh, okay. Very cool. Do you mind sharing what the subject of the course is? Is it like does it have a defined subject or is it like a general course or something? Uh, You'll get a link. Okay. He gave us a video to watch. Um, hold on a second. Oh, I'd love to hear your opinion on it when you're done. You know, its themes mostly is to encourage people to bring out their joy and their personality and their work to help avoid art block, etc. That's awesome. I think that's great. That's a great thing. I see the link. I'll take a look at it in a little bit. Thought my painting would be more consistently wet than it is, and so I'm partially dry, which I'm not a fan of. It's like tacky. It's a stage I'm not a fan of. To, Today in just the YouTube stream, there were over six. Wait, hold on. Uh, Today in the YouTube stream, there were over 6,000 people. He also had a live Facebook stream and a live Zoom, so I have no idea what the numbers were. Oh, that's crazy. That's that's a lot. Now I'm even more curious. Yeah, those are crazy numbers. very few artists I know who get kind of anywhere near anything like that. So one guy posted a piece and asked how he could change his painting to fit into the design lesson. You made one little suggestion, and wow, it helped it a lot. That's cool. That's very nice. Is the aside from the live stream being so large, is the group also that large? Well, you said one guy posted a piece and asked how he could change it. Where did? I'm assuming that's part of the class. Did I misunderstand that? Facebook. Got it. That makes sense. Let's see if zooming in will help at all. You can see it a little better. All the nuances I'm working on, I think, are a little more apparent. Nice work. Oh, thanks, Dia. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. How are you doing tonight? I apologize. My memory can be very spotty. Have you been in chat before? I don't remember. If not, welcome. If you have, I apologize. I'm dumb. Good and nope, lol. Oh, well, welcome. How are you doing tonight? Are you an artist or just an art fan? Both are welcome here. So since you're new, I will go on a little bit. This is a self-portrait. I did this for Drawn Together, which is I'm going to say just a podcast on Dylan Sarah's YouTube channel, which I highly recommend. They have a podcast called Drawn Together. The idea is that everyone's encouraged to draw the person they're interviewing, um, and they provide some photo reference, which is what I did. Um, I hate doing self portraits, although I've done a ton of them at this point. But yeah, you're an artist as well? Nice. What kind of art do you do? There should be a link in my description, in the description, by the way, if you want to check out Dylan Sarah's Drawn Together podcast. It's a lot of fun. I do not secretly like it. No, I do not. I do not secretly like it. I will say this: I did enjoy everyone else's paintings of me. That I enjoyed. Mostly because it was cool to see everyone's artwork. But yeah, it was also because it was connected to me in some way. So it was like it formed a stronger connection, I think. I'm muted? I don't think I was muted. Mostly fan art of games. Yeah, I think that was. Oh, your earbuds malfunctioned. Okay. It wasn't me muted. Okay. Dia says mostly fan art of games. Oh, very nice. I've done a lot of fan art in the past. Not so much anymore, but yeah, I've definitely done my share of fan art in the past. Uh, Especially since I used to be more in like the comic book scene. I did a lot more fan art then. I used to do comic book conventions and stuff like that. I even had a table. I was even invited to have a table in Artist Alley in San Diego Comic Con one year, which was really cool. So yeah, that says me too. Star Wars, Star Trek, Harry Potter stuff. I did a Star Trek piece once. I don't know where it is. I have to go look for it. Trying to think, did I ever do Star Wars? I didn't do Star Wars, I don't think. I did do a what's it called? A Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy drawing that was very popular for a very long time. Shocker, I know. In fact, it was so popular that there are a bunch of rip-offs of it at one point. Like people were selling it on eBay and shit. They just photoshopped out my signature, you know. That's crappy. Yeah, it was crappy, but I honestly I feel worse for the people who got the who bought it because there's no way it could have been quality printing, because they're basically like grabbing it off the internet. So, the printed quality has got to be trash. And the people buying it, they have no clue. It's not their fault. Links will not go through on YouTube, by the way. Just FYI. And if you try to circumvent the links, it often catches it too. Just be aware of that. Easiest way, if you want to tell me what your Instagram is, just put your Instagram, the at, after the at. Just whatever it is after that. That's the best way to do it. Because YouTube's auto moderation is tight. You post less on there. Where do you post more on then? Having art blocks sucks. You think you should get a new device? Should get a new device? Maybe Twitter? Okay. What do you mean? Having art block. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, but having art block and having a new device, I don't get the connection. Oh, you draw on a phone, by the way. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Oh, now I understand. What app do you use? It's like getting a gym membership, trying to force yourself to go to the gym, buy a new device to force yourself to do art. Yeah. I don't know that I would recommend that necessarily. Never seems to work for me with the gym membership, I can tell you that much. But I could see the phone being a very limiting form factor, which could be, something that I could see iBiz Paint. Okay. I could see that being a thing that could be frustrating to work with. Having said that, check out um, check out Heavy Paint. I think it's Heavy Paint. I don't think you'll necessarily like based off of what you're saying. I don't know that you'll really like it all that much. Um, But it could be a way of like getting out of your comfort zone to like, you know, just experiment a little bit. There's a tree file of heavy paint, but it's not free ultimately. Yeah. No, it's not free ultimately. That's true. But it's also only like I think $10 or something like that, maybe five on the phone. So, it's also not the most expensive thing. I know prices vary in the world and so on, but yeah. You haven't heard of that app? Yeah, it's popular amongst people amongst a lot of like concept artist types because it's kind of like painting um and it has some like abstract elements baked in. Um yeah. Laura says I use Krita, it's free, but you use it on an Android tablet. Uh None of them can. You don't think phones run it? Yeah, I don't think it's phone friendly. You also use it on a PC though? Yeah. Krita is great, but once again, it is um depends on your form factor that you need, you know. It's so hard to recommend certain things to people because like I'll talk to someone and I'll recommend something thinking I'm giving a great recommendation and then I'll find out, they live in a certain part of the world or whatever and it's just like, oh, okay, so none of what I just said applies. Got it. It's like, all right. In some places in the world, it's wild how how things are. Um, And I was talking, I can't remember who it was. There's someone who used to come to my streams and he would talk, I think he was from Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. And he'd talk about it. And it was just crazy. He'd have to like, the dedication of like mixing his own paints and, from like making his own materials and stuff. It was just insane. That's impressive. Yeah, no, it was very impressive. The lengths to which he would go to try and, pursue his art was crazy. Very impressive. Very inspiring. Especially when I'm like complaining about, them not having the supplies I want at the art store, and I have to, order it by mail for free, stuff like that. It's like, okay. All right, I get it. I'll shut up now. Yeah, I don't know that I could pull that off. If I had to like make my own paints from scratch, I don't know that I have it in me to do that. Uh, Also, if you have burnout, it's worth remembering there's always you know, pencil and paper or something similar. You can always give that a try. When I was a kid, that was mostly what I painted. Well, painting. What I drew with was just pencils and paper. All right. I mean, you don't have to. Just an idea. But if you do, actually, this applies to anything you do. Don't be dumb like me. When I was a kid, so dumb. I used to draw laying down on my stomach, which is like the dumbest position you could probably, you know, choose. I think I screwed up my back and my neck just from doing that. I have no idea how that was even comfortable, but apparently it was as a child. But oh my God. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I screwed up my neck and my back just from doing that. Either that or the theory that I'm mostly hot air in here is true, in which case, yeah, that explains how I was able to keep my head up that whole time with no problem. This is, I think, too light. Does it still affect me to this day? Oh, my neck and yeah. But also I've also completely overworked my arm and my neck and my back. And I had a drunk driver run into me. So I'm carrying some injuries, so who knows what's the cause of everything. I'm going to assume the drunk driver is the main cause of everything at this point. Yeah. Yeah, so and also I injured myself at work once and so on. So, you know, it is what it is. Um I went to physical therapy that helped. I need to start doing my exercises again and get into shape again. That sucks. It does suck. And it's also it's one of those things that's very unfair, because like the person who ran into me is fine from as far as I know. But, whatever. What can you do? It was a few years, it was in 2015, so it's been a long time, but chronic, injuries are chronic for a reason, I guess. Okay, we need to build up some contrast in this eye because right now it's looking very, very washed out. This one too. One day I might do a painting about using reference from my car accident. I did a drawing when I did Inktober one year, but haven't used that reference for anything since. I don't know that it's necessarily good reference for painting, but could be interesting. I wish I could get the quality. Ah, that was the wrong button or the wrong thing. Jeez. All right, let's see. So the problem is I can't use the zoom on the camera because when I zoom, it messes with the tilt. So I have to use digital zoom, which isn't nearly as good. And then the focus just the quality just isn't there when you do digital zoom versus the optical zoom, but I just cannot do optical zoom. It's too messy to mess with while streaming. That is way too bright. Ah, so that explains it. Explains what? There might be a bit of a delay happening. The camera being blurry. Yeah, no, this is the camera view as it stands, which isn't blurry if I get the focus right. The problem is that what's it called? It's hard to see the details of a painting, at this. But here's the thing: you can see the camera right up here, right? But if you want to see what the camera really sees, let me show you. This is what the camera is actually seeing. So it's quite distorted. So I can fix that distortion, but it comes at the cost of not being able to easily zoom in and out, because that distortion changes as the zoom changes, and it just becomes a mess. So, so yeah, it is very challenging getting the camera correct when dealing with paint. All right. Want to keep going. I'm going to keep going for a little bit longer. I really want to finish this tonight. Don't know that I'll succeed, but I really want to. Gonna stretch my back for a second. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, we'll see how much longer I can keep going tonight. I'm losing steam. Can feel it. You're gonna head to bed, long day. No worries, Des. Have a good night. Good luck with your class tomorrow. Um, yeah, no steam for me. That's funny. Hey, Donley. Good to see you, man. Tomorrow is color, you think? Nice. Well, good luck. Good luck. I hope it goes well. Yeah, I can feel myself running out of steam. Jeez, I wanted to finish this so bad tonight. Donley says there's about a 20 to 30-second delay between Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, I know. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I could make the delay on YouTube shorter. Um, because there's a setting, you can set it to like ultra fast or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it comes at a cost. You can only stream 1080p on YouTube like that. And I'd rather stream 4K to YouTube than 1080p. So that is why. But yeah, I do wish that it wasn't the delay wasn't so large. It's really kind of weird too because, well, I guess the audio is delayed too. The video and the audio, I guess, is delayed because if I typed in chat, I bet it wouldn't be delayed. So yeah, I don't know. It would be cool if they, I just thought about it. It would be cool if they would set up something where it's like you can decide to not have your face or not have your voice synced with your camera, and then it would be like instantaneous, like a Discord call or something, you know? I think that'd be interesting. I would probably turn off my face cam and just do that if I could. Suddenly says, "Whoa, that'd be freaky. You need to add psychedelic filter if you did that." No, it would be it would be like kind of watching um a stream with, yeah, I don't know. It would be weird. It would. You're right. It would be weird, but I also think it'd be cool. I don't know. Because then at least the chat and the voice would be instant. You're just saying if you kept the face cam on. Oh yeah, no, that would be really weird. I think if I did that, I would make it like a PNG of myself, just kind of like an avatar of some kind and be like, all right, that's just going to be me, but I'm going to talk and you're going to hear me and everything is going to be practically instant. So Dia, if you don't mind me asking, why do you mostly draw on your phone? Only says that reminds me you want one of those VTuber things for your channel, but you want to make a South Park Canadian version of you to move when you speak. It's not hard, actually. A simple one like that is actually easy, Donley. I can actually help you with that. Dia says, I'm broke. Oh, yeah, I feel that. Well, I would like to commend you for taking advantage of what you do have and using that. That's, that's very good of you. You were saying that you're also dealing with art block. Art block is always or not always, but can be challenging to deal with. It's not always challenging to deal with, although we might think it is. Sometimes it just takes one little thing to break us out of it. Sometimes it's more complicated. It has been a while personally since I've dealt with art block. Um, but I do remember it, fortunately. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to pick your brain after stream, Donnelly says. Yeah, absolutely, man. Dia, are you familiar with Moist Critical by any chance? Or also known as Charlie or Penguin Zero? Only says, or you said you're getting tired, so maybe tomorrow or whenever, no rush. Oh yeah, Dunley. Yeah, I don't know. After I might be up for it. We'll see. If not, yeah, tomorrow. But I can send you some links. I don't know how to do it directly. Like I've never made it, but I saw some videos on how to do it, and it's pretty simple. You basically do, I think, two drawings or three drawings kind of thing for the animation, and then you set up a plugin that activates whenever you speak. So it transitions from one to the other when you speak. So yeah, you are familiar with Charlie. All right. He does do these streams now lately where he like just gives away some money. Um, might want to try to sign up for that if that's a thing you're interested in. He's a nice guy too in general, so I have no problem like me, you know promoting Charlie. Not that he needs me by any, but yeah, seems like a nice guy. is asking, so like a PNG tuber? Exactly like a PNG tuber. That's what Donley's talking about. Yeah. That is literally what he's exactly what he's talking about. Yeah. But he wants it to have a flapping head like the South Park Canadian characters. Links are good. Yeah, absolutely, Donley. Like I said, I've never actually done it myself, but I was looking into possibly doing it because I was also looking into possibly creating a VTuber like model type of thing, more for Michelle than for myself. I've already kind of put myself out there, and also I don't think my crowd is the. I don't think I'm the right looking for that crowd necessarily, but yeah. Oh, that's a weird feeling. Excuse me for a second. That was so. A weird thing that can happen. I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently, and I've looked it up online. I'm not the only one. I swear to God. You can get splinters, but instead of it being like wood, it's hair. Um, and I have three cats and a dog, so we're not exactly lacking for hair occasionally on the floor. Yeah, that's a thing. I didn't know it was a thing, but it is. Anyways, I don't think I'm finishing this tonight. Unfortunately, I am too tired. Um, After work and now streaming for, I don't know, 2.5 hours or whatever. Yeah, I'm out. Gotta get gotta give my hands some rest too. Um, but I will be back on Wednesday night. So for anyone who doesn't know, I stream Monday night, Wednesday night, and Sunday afternoon, Central Time, Austin, Texas time, also known as Chicago time. So yeah, come hang out. Hair splinters are no fun. Rest up, Liad. See ya. Yeah, absolutely, Donley. Um, there's a link to my Discord in the YouTube chat, YouTube description. There's also a link to Nightshade and to Glaze if you don't like AI stealing from you. Um, and yeah, I hope everyone can stop by again. Like I said, there's a link to my Discord. It's easier to stay in touch with me there. I have a feedback corner and so on. So yeah. But yeah, I'm going to call it a night, unfortunately. So have a good night, everybody. Um, Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Jeez, just hair everywhere today. And that's about it. Have a good one.